Good morning. Today's passage is from Luke 9, 1 to 9, and it's Jesus sends out the 12, and here it is. When Jesus had called the 12 together, he gave them power and authority to drive out all demons and to cure diseases. And he sent them out to proclaim the kingdom of God and to heal the sick. He told them, "Take nothing for the journey, no staff, no bag, no bread, no money, no extra shirt. Whatever house you enter, stay there until you leave that town. If people do not welcome you, leave their town and shake the dust off your feet as testimony against them." So they set out and went from village to village, proclaiming the good news and healing people everywhere. Now, Herod the Tetrarch heard about all that was going on, and he was perplexed because some were saying that John had been raised from the dead, others that Elijah had appeared, and still others that one of the prophets of long ago had come back to life. But Herod said, "I beheaded John. Who then is this I hear such things about?" And he tried to see him. Well, this is evangelism Jesus style. And it's a bit like being sworn in as a deputy in a Western, but instead of a badge, you get power and authority to drive out demons and heal the sick, which is cool. And instead of doing what a modern missionary would do, of researching your mission area and fundraising before you go, making sure you're really well prepared, you just go with no prior preparation, no supplies, not even any money. And it sounds to me absolutely terrifying. There's no backup plan. There's no plan. And while it sounds cool to be given special healing superpowers, I think at the time of Jesus saying this, it must have sounded pretty daunting, because Jesus may have said, "Oh, well, you've got authority to do all those things." But until you try it for the first time alone in a strange town with nobody else you know around you and no support, you don't know if it's going to work. So I think the disciples must have been absolutely bricking themselves when Jesus said all this to them, because it is really, really scary. I don't think it's supposed to be a template for Christian mission, because when Paul goes off on his missionary journeys, he does things very differently. He does plan where he's going, and he supports himself with his own tent-making business. So I think this isn't supposed to be the sort of template for how you do it. I think some of it is cultural. Not having the bags, not having the money has parallels probably with how people like the Essenes preached, and the rabbis weren't supposed to go into a temple with money or a staff. And it's a cultural thing. It's about making sure that the message you give is not compromised by the money or the need to get paid, or having the things you need to pay. It's about a message that is freely given with no strings attached. I think what Luke is saying here is that Jesus wanted his message to be spread urgently, simply, and without compromise. And that's not changed. And it's the challenge that Jesus is giving us now as we've received the Great Commission. He wants us to deliver his message urgently, simply, and without compromise. And we've been given power and authority by him to do so. And this may feel scary, as I'm sure it felt scary to the disciples, and it was daunting to them. But, spoiler alert, as you'll hear on Friday, it worked out okay for them. So that should be an encouragement to us. The second part of the reading is all about Herod hearing about what's going on and being perplexed. I'm not sure how Luke got access to Herod's internal monologue. Maybe he had a source at court, maybe he's reporting rumors, maybe he's using artistic license. I think the point he's trying to make is, at this point in Jesus' ministry, he's making waves. People in power are beginning to notice him, and he's becoming a nationally known figure. I think Luke's also trying to set up a scene for later. Eventually, Herod does get to meet Jesus, and he gets to meet him as part of his trial. And I think what Luke is saying here is, when that meeting comes, Herod is already aware of Jesus and what he's been up to. It's not a meeting between, well, who are you, complete strangers. And that is all I have for you for today.